Good afternoon to the Nigerian community. This is the voice of the Pedagogues Educational Research Institute and any facilitating firm. And this very afternoon, we'd like to discuss another very crucial topic. Like we have been doing, we have been discussing some very crucial topics in English language, which especially for children of school-going age in the junior secondary school as well as the senior class. So this afternoon, we'll be discussing another very germane topic, most especially in the comprehension aspect of the O-level English, which is the grammatical name and function. Our firm is dedicated to discussing some topics that might look very difficult for students, even though their teachers have explained to them in the class. You may find it very difficult to unravel the mystery. So this blended learning platform is an attempt to consolidate what teachers do in the regular school curriculum activities, so that it will be more clear, it will be clearer to students, and they will not just lose some very cheap marks when they are to write their O-level. So we use this medium to urge the Nigerian community to keep watching us and to keep sharing our clip. We use this medium to appreciate everybody is supporting us in one way or the other. Without further ado, this afternoon I will be discussing grammatical names and function, and more especially, more on a very profuse note, I will be discussing noun phrases and clauses. This usually comes out in the comprehension and is a way for students to pass more honorably. So when we talk about phrase, any form of phrase is just a group of words, it's just a fractional part of the sentence. A phrase does not express a complete thought, and neither does it express a complete meaning. In English language, it's just a fractional part of the sentence, and any form of phrase will function like the particular part of speech. If it is a verb phrase, it will function like a verb. If it is a prepositional phrase, it will function like a preposition. If it is an adverbial phrase, it will function like an adverbial. If it is an adjectival phrase, it will function like an adjective. But on a very serious note today, we are discussing the noun phrase, which is a group of words that usually has a noun as the head word. So I will be discussing this topic traditionally because I believe that on the traditional level, it captures what the requirement of WAEC and NECO is. At the advanced level, we might disagree with some of the things that we say, but I think the traditional level of the grammar still caters for what is the requirement of WAEC, NECO, and NAFTEP, which is the examination that students of school-going age will do. So having said that, a noun phrase is just a group of words that has a noun as the head word, and a noun phrase is a group of words that does not usually have a finite verb. A noun phrase is a group of words that can be pre-modified by article. We have three articles in English language: article A, article an, and article B. We have possessive adjectives. It can be pre-modified by possessive adjectives. Mine, your, is, our, are. It can be modified by demonstrative. These, those, these. It can be pre-modified by to infinitive. That is to plus present tense form of the verb. To sing, to write, to hit. So when you have expressions like that, they are not clauses, they are just phrases, and more preferably they are noun phrases. It can be pre-modified. It can be introduced by gerund. Gerund is an ing infinitive verb that is not preceded by the form of be. E.g., when you say singing is my hobby, singing is a noun phrase in that case, is a gerund. Manoeuvring a tanker is arduous, that is ing form not preceded by a form of be. That is a noun phrase. So a noun phrase by its very nature can serve as subject of a verb. That is when it occurs before the verb. It can serve as object of the verb. That is when it occurs after the verb. It can serve as complement to the subject when it occurs after the verb and refers back to the subject. Then it can serve as apposition when it occurs before the verb and refers back to the subject. So I would just like to give an illustration, to give some illustrations by giving some examples of how noun phrases function, how a noun phrase can function either as a subject or as object or as complement, as well as in apposition to a particular subject. These are where students can easily get cheap marks in their O level. They can easily get some cheap marks in their O level, so it is not expected of them to miss these cheap marks by the time they write their O level. So I'd just like you to listen to what we will be doing. When you say noun phrase is the subject of the verb, subject is usually the performer of an action. In English language, they are the doer of the action. Subject is the doer of the action. So it can either be a pronoun or a noun. But we are talking of noun phrase, that is a group of words that serves the function of a noun in a given sentence, and of course has the noun as the head word. In my earlier explanation, I already said that a noun phrase can be pre-modified by article. So when you see an article beginning an expression, traditionally it is a noun phrase. This is article D. The book is good. Then there is the article, which is the pre-modifier, while you have the noun here as the head word. The book is the noun. So a phrase is a group of words that does not have a finite verb. The book does not have any finite verb. So that is the subject of the verb is. The house looks great. The house looks great. So the house there is the subject of the verb looks. The house there is the noun phrase. To hear is human. When you see to plus present tense verb, traditionally is a phrase. So you can say to sing, to eat, to write, to eat, to come. It's difficult. When you have such expression, it is a noun phrase. To hear there is subject of the verb is. That is noun phrase. And when you have gerund, gerund is an ing infinitive verb that is not preceded by the form of be. That is am, is, are, was, were. When you don't see it coming before an ing verb, that expression is a noun phrase. Fixing someone up is arduous. I think that is a NECO question. Fixing someone up. So that will be a noun phrase. Then this I think this is one example. Maneuvering a tanker is difficult. The word maneuvering there is serving as a noun, is a gerund. It's an ing infinitive, not preceded by the form of be. So that is a noun phrase, subject of the verb is. How to drive requires practice. How to drive, that is how plus 2 infinitive. That is a noun phrase. Function as the subject of the verb requires. Then you can have it like that. When you say this book is good. This book is good. You underline this book. This there is a demonstrative and it's coming before, it's pre-modifying a noun. That is a noun phrase. If I say my car is expensive, and they underline this one, my car. My there is being pre-modified by a possessive adjective, and you have a noun there. So that is a noun phrase, subject of the verb is. So that is noun phrase functioning as the subject of a verb. Noun phrase functioning as the subject of the verb. You can have a noun phrase as the object of the verb, that is, it comes after a verb. He killed the goat. He killed the goat. Killed the goat. The goat there is coming after this verb. So it is object of this verb. Object is a noun phrase. Is a noun phrase pre-modified by article, and you have goat, which is the head word there. I saw the man. I bought the car. The car there will be noun phrase, object of the verb bought. So that is noun phrase functioning as the object of a verb. Then a noun phrase as complement. Noun phrase as complement. Of a subject. That is, it appears after the verb and it refers to the subject. Then it has equative verb. So when I say I am a teacher, I am a teacher. He is a fool. He is a fool. They are lawyers. They are lawyers. But we are talking about co-referencing. That is what you have after the verb is referring back to the subject. When I say I killed the goat, this one, the goat is not the E. So the goat will be serving as the object of the verb. But when it is complement, what you have after the verb will refer back to the subject. So a teacher is referring back to I. So in this case, this is noun phrase, is pre-modified by article. Then you have the noun as the head word. So it's referring back to the subject. You say a teacher is the complement of the subject I. A fool is the complement of the subject E. He is a fool. They are lawyers. Lawyers is referring back to the subject they. So that is noun phrase serving as the complement of the subjects. And on the very last note, we'll be talking about noun phrase as apposition. when a noun phrase is functional as an apposition, it appears before the verb. Two, it refers to the subject. If I say Nigeria, the giant of Africa, is rich, and they underline the giant of Africa. So this is a noun phrase in the sense that it's pre-modified by article. Giant is a noun, Africa is another noun. Those are the head words. So it's referring back to this subject Nigeria. The two subjects refer to each other and they appear before the verb. So in other words, this is a noun phrase in opposition to the subject Nigeria. Mr. Adebisi, the mathematics teacher, is here. This one, the underline the mathematics teacher, this is article, this is mathematics, which is a noun, this is teacher, which is a noun. So that is noun phrase. From here to here, you don't have a finite verb. It's qualified to be called a phrase. It's a noun phrase, and it's referring back to the subject. You have two subjects referring to each other, and they appear before the verb. So that is noun phrase in opposition to the subject, Mr. Adebisi. So the functions of noun phrase, they are more than that, but at the secondary school level, which is the purpose of pedagogues, the major purpose of pedagogues intervention in the educational system, I think that should be enough for noun phrase. On a very brief note, I would like to discuss noun clause. On a very brief note, I would like to discuss noun clause. When you say something is a clause has a finite verb. Most clauses, they are subordinate clauses. A typical noun clause as well is a subordinate clause. A typical noun clause just limits it to being subject, could be subjects of a verb, that is appear before the verb, or objects of a verb, that is it might also appear after the verb. Then what are the indicators of noun clause? Indicators. It can begin with that. That is when you have a verb before the that clause, it is a noun clause. It can begin with how, when you don't have how to, when it asks how, WH. When you have something like where or why, at times it could be a noun clause. Then it can begin with personal pronoun. Personal pronoun. The three persons in English language: I, you, we, they, he, she, it. When they begin an expression, don't think twice. They are indicators of a noun clause. And what do I mean by finite verb? A finite verb is a verb that can be marked for tense. Tense, number, person. When a verb has relationship with a subject, he knows that he is stupid. That he is stupid Is there is having relationship with the subject he. So in that case, is a finite verb because it's marked for tense. The past tense of is was, and it's having relationship with he. He there is the third person singular. So any verb that has relationship with the subject and that can be marked with tense and that can be marked for number, is it singular or plural? It's a finite verb. So any clause, noun clause inclusive, we have a finite verb. So let me just illustrate with a number of examples. He knows that he is intelligent. So that, when you see that and you see a verb coming before it, it is a noun clause. But when it is that and you have a noun or pronoun coming before it, it is relative clause. The envelope that you gave me is bad. Envelope is a noun and it's coming before that clause. In that case, it will not be a noun clause, it will be a relative clause. But when you have that clause and it is coming after a verb, it is a noun clause. Then how do you know it's a noun clause? This is that, this is a verb coming before it. Then you have he, which is a personal pronoun. Is a finite verb. The past tense of is was. Then it has relationship with he, which is a singular, third person singular. Then you know that it is a clause. This is a noun clause. Noun clause. In which case, in this case, is coming after the verb. So the function will be objects of the verb. Of the verb knows. Object of the verb knows. He said what is correct. What is correct? What is correct there? What there is an indication of noun clause. That's WH interrogative. Then you have is, which is a finite verb. So that is noun clause, object of the verb serve. Then this is why example. Many people will reason Many people will reason that he is the biological father. That is, the biological father is the noun clause because you have that starting the clause and you have a group of verb. You have a verb phrase coming before it. So then you have a finite verb in the expression which is. So that is will be the noun clause. Then object of the verb phrase would reason. Don't say object of the verb would, because would is not the finite verb there. So you would rather say object of the verb phrase would reason. So then it can begin with a what? A personal pronoun. This is why example as well. He thought it was a great idea. He thought it was a tremendous idea. When you see a personal pronoun beginning an expression, is a noun clause. So then you have a finite verb there, making you to know is a clause. Then idea there is a noun, which is the head word. It was a great idea is a what? Is a noun clause. Object of the verb thought. It's coming after that expression. So it's object. So then when all these type of expressions come before the verb, they are subject of the verb. They are subjects of the verb. Subjects. Subject is the performer of the action. Object is the receiver of the action. What he said made me angry. What he said made me angry. Now underline this one. What he said. What there is a WH interrogative. When you have it, is a noun clause. Said there is a finite verb. The past tense of say is said. It's marked for tense. It has relationship with he, which is third person singular. So said is a finite verb. In any clause, we have a finite verb. So that is noun clause. Subject. Subject of the verb made. Subject. So, we want to use this medium to thank everybody listening to us. We appreciate you for listening. We appreciate you for sharing our clip. We promise the Nigerian community that we will do more. And as we have the chance, we just come at times to discuss some very salient topics. But we just urge you to keep sharing our clip to the number of students who really need it, who it might benefit. Thank you very much and God bless you. God be with you till we meet again.